Good morning. This is a workshop weekend for me, as I think I've mentioned previously. And it's hard in any workshop weekend for me not to be thinking about the situations in people's lives that I'm having the opportunity to witness firsthand. Things that people are carrying with them, the grief, sometimes the shame, often the pain, the anger, and of course the love that's underneath the anger. For me, the experience of the workshops allow for great introspection because inevitably I see mirrors. The things that other people are going through, I have either gone through or am still going through to some degree myself. There's always levels of revelation that happen for me when I watch people being themselves and willing to be vulnerable and step into the strength of their vulnerability, or in some cases, resist being vulnerable, stuck in their heads and unable to feel because they don't really know what they're feeling. And there's times I can look back at my own life and say, well, I didn't know what I was feeling either because I was so caught in the web of my own thoughts that I didn't know what was going on in my body. And I certainly didn't know what was going on in my emotional body. When asked, how do you feel? It would be like, what? I don't know. I don't know. The reason I do and have committed myself to spending weekends with people that are healing, number one is, of course, is because I care. But the other thing is because it puts me back in touch again with how important it is to just simply feel what's going on. The feelings for me are a guidance system that allow me to go deeper. It says something, look at this more closely. Be willing to explore you and what makes you you and what keeps you from being you. So many times in my life, I have worn a mask of spiritual respectability because it wasn't appropriate to be real, to be human, to be vulnerable. I would not have been accepted in certain circles had I told the truth about what was going on in my thought and feeling world. I would not have been accepted because so many institutions in our world, especially spiritual and religious institutions, have a standard that they try to hold up for people. And it's an artificial standard that says you've got to be perfect. And perfect means this is the definition of perfect for us. You've got to believe this and this and this and this. You've got to behave in this certain way. You can't do that. And there's a whole bunch of rules that follow. I mean, everything is conditional in so many of our religious and spiritual settings. And it doesn't matter the religion. You can be Eastern or Western in your religious philosophy. It doesn't matter. There are rules that have to be followed in order for you to fit in. Well, many times we don't fit in. We're the misfits of society. And when I get to participate in these workshops and get to see people as they really are, struggling with some of these things, carrying this perfectionist attitude with them from their parental guidance system and their religious guidance system, they don't know who they are. They get lost behind the mask and don't know who they are. Does that sound familiar to you? It's familiar to me. How many times have I been lost behind my own mask? In this ninth wave of the evolution of human consciousness, if there's anything that we're here to learn, I hope we're learning to be authentic. I hope we're learning to take the courage to be real with who we are and to tell the truth about our thoughts and our feelings and our experiences. There are no bad feelings or bad experiences or even bad thoughts. That are bad because there's something terrible. They may be terrible. We may have judged them as being terrible, but the terrible thing is when we stuff them down and we don't allow the free expression that allows us to connect with other human beings. There's some people that said we should not connect in our pain. Well, the human experience is a painful experience. As every Buddhist will be able to tell you, Buddha taught us about suffering. Jesus wept. Jesus got angry. These are human emotions. They are human experiences. And we need to own them. We need to tell the truth about them because there's something liberating. There's something tremendously empowering when we're willing to let down our mask, to take off our armor, and to be real, to be vulnerable. There's a power in that. And there's growth in that. I've watched people in workshops that they come in and there's almost like a gray aura around them. And you can either see it or sense that aura because they don't have hope. It's almost as if the flame of fire, the flame of freedom has gone dim within them and they don't remember who they are. And then I've watched the transformation take place as they are given permission to express themselves freely, to give vent to the negativity that's within them. And it's not negative, it's positive when you give vent to it, because underneath all of that negativity is a glorious positivity that is capable of changing the world. That's the ninth wave. That's what I see the ninth wave as being and providing for us the opportunity to let all of the things that are buried in our unconscious come to the surface so that we can be whole again for the first time, so that we can remember that this human experience is not about becoming so spiritual that we're no earthly good, becoming so spiritual that we're on such a high plane that we cannot touch people where they live. Rather, this is an opportunity for us to embrace our humanity, and in that embrace, discover the beauty of divinity and the grace that allows us to tell the truth. To tell the truth. This is who I am. This is what I've experienced. Like it or not, I'm not going to let you judge me anymore. This is me. This is my experience. And I'm going to share it without shame. I'm going to fight the shame that I've been taught that has made me repress my own emotions, my own power. I'm going to share it. I'm going to tell the truth. For me in the workshop, this workshop, issues have come up. Guilt has come up for me in this workshop. Now I'm supposed to be someone that people listen to. BS, give me a break. You may listen to me, but I want you to listen to me because I'm willing to tell the truth, not because I'm on some plateau of spiritual perfection. I'm not. I'm a human being, just like every other human being on this planet. I have the same fears and the same hopes, the same anxieties, the same dreams that I'd like to see fulfilled as everyone else. There's so much common ground. The common ground is in the negative as well as the positive. And those are just labels, and we've got to get beyond the labels. I invite you to find places where you can be real. Create them if they're not in your local neighborhood, where people are allowed to group together and to share their lives with each other. We need friends in this ninth wave. I am fortunate enough to have friends around the world, and I am fortunate enough to have close friends in my local environment that I can connect with, that I can love and be loved by. And this is transformational for me. This is encouraging for me because it allows me to be real, to be authentic. And if there's anything that's a common ground in a lot of the comments that I get since I've been doing these videos, people recognize that authenticity. It's just, I think, what's that? Is that a feather in my cap? No. It's simply a willingness to tell it like it is. And as my friend Paige said in one of her videos, authenticity is a shortcut to the awakening. I don't remember if that's exactly how she said it, but I know she mentioned that in one of her videos. In fact, I think that was something along that line was the title. And it is. Authenticity, being real, is an important key to what's happening as we take responsibility for our own lives. And in so doing, we provide the energy necessary to co-create the world we all dream about, where love really does transform the dark into light by turning on the switches and lighting the flame. Breathe. Breathe. I thank you for letting me share from my heart with you this morning. And I encourage you to connect with people that are willing to be real, and be willing to be real yourself. It's a beautiful thing. God bless you, and namaste. Thank you very much.